Good morning, students. Standard Neura High School, dear students. This is the third video of this week, and here we are going to proceed with chapter 4, metals and non-metals. Today in this video, we are going to discuss about chemical properties of metals and non-metals. So let us start now. Before starting, I would like to request you to watch it till the end and be regular in your class. Let's begin now. So, dear students, in the previous video, we have already discussed about physical properties of metals. We have already seen that metals are hard solids, they are malleable, they are ductile, they are opaque, they are lustrous, they are sonorous, they are with high density, with high boiling point, high melting point, high tensile strength, good conductor of heat and good conductor of electricity. Now let us have a look on chemical properties of metals, and then we will see chemical properties of non-metals as well. So first of all, let us have a look on chemical properties of metals. Metals lose or donate 1, 2 or 3 valence electron. They form cation or positively charged ions. They form basic oxide with oxygen. They form salt with halogen. They react with cool water or steam to release hydrogen. They react with dilute acid to produce hydrogen gas and a salt solution. Now let's see, when metal reacts with oxygen, they will form metal oxide, which are basic in nature. For example, 4Na plus O2 gives 2Na2O. Total number of sodium is 4. In order to make sodium 4, we are multiplying it with 2. So 2Na2O, that means 2 into 2. This 2 has to be multiplied with 2 molecule of sodium. So total number of sodium will be 4 and total number of oxygen will be 2. In this way, we used to balance the reaction after learning the formula. Potassium and sodium are very reactive. Insoluble in water, some are amphoteric oxides, aluminum oxide and zinc oxide. That means basic oxides are insoluble in water. Some are amphoteric also, aluminum and zinc oxide. Now see, reaction of magnesium metal with oxygen. 2 Mg plus O2 gives 2 MgO. When magnesium is burnt in air, it forms magnesium oxide. Burning in air means reaction with oxygen. Magnesium oxide forms magnesium hydroxide with water. Solution of magnesium oxide turns red litmus blue. This means magnesium oxide is basic in nature because whenever bases comes in contact with red litmus, it turns it into blue, and whenever acid comes in contact with blue litmus, it turns it into red. So let us have a look in detail. Reaction of metal with water. Whenever metal reacts with water, you will get metal hydroxide and hydrogen. For example, sodium react with water to form sodium hydroxide and hydrogen. 2Na plus 2H2O gives 2NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide with hydrogen gas. Magnesium reacts with water to form magnesium hydroxide and hydrogen. For example, Mg plus H2O gives MgOH whole 2, that is magnesium hydroxide with hydrogen. Non-metals do not react with water. Reaction of metal with acid. Metals react with acid to form metallic salt and hydrogen. For example, zinc react with dilute hydrochloric acid to form zinc chloride and hydrogen. Zn plus 2HCl gives ZnCl2 plus H2, that is zinc chloride. Most non-metals do not react with acid. Some non-metals like sulfur reacts with concentrated nitric acid to form sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide and water. For example, sulfur plus 4HNO3, that is nitric acid, gives SO2 plus 4NO2 plus 2H2O. So, reactions with water. Some metals react chemically with cold water. That means, depending upon the state of water and temperature of water, metal reacts and give different product. If metal reacts with water, you will get metal hydroxide with the release of hydrogen gas. For example, potassium reacts with cold water, 2K plus 2H2O gives 2KOH plus H2, potassium hydroxide with the release of hydrogen gas. You can see aqueous potassium hydroxide is formed and hydrogen gas is liberated. Violent reaction may explode with water because sodium and potassium are highly reactive in nature. 2K plus 2H2O, 2KOH plus H2. Potassium darted around on the surface of water, reacts with cold water. Hydrogen gas can burn in air. Hydrogen gas is released, it is given off, and an alkaline solution is formed which turns red litmus into blue, that is potassium hydroxide will be formed. Reactions with steam. Some metals react chemically with hot water, that is steam. Metal plus steam gives metal oxide with the release of hydrogen gas. So metal like zinc and iron do not react with cold water but do react with steam. This is because they are not that much highly reactive. Magnesium with steam, you can write here Mg plus H2O, MgO plus H2, that is magnesium oxide with the release of hydrogen gas. Iron reacts with water only when steam is passed over hot iron. The products are iron oxide and hydrogen. So 3Fe plus 4H2O gives Fe2O4 plus 4H2. Metals like copper, gold and silver do not react with water even under strong condition because they are mostly non-reactive. They do not react gently. So, reaction of potassium with cold water, already we have seen. You can see how hydrogen gas is formed and potassium oxide is also formed. Many metals react with acid to form a salt and hydrogen gas. The equation is metal plus acid, salt plus hydrogen. This depends upon metal is reacting with which acid. Hydrochloric acid gives metal chloride, sulfuric acid gives metal sulfate, nitric acid gives metal nitrate. Magnesium reacts with hydrochloric acid, you will get magnesium chloride with the release of hydrogen gas. Metal react with bases and replace the available hydrogen to form salt. Base plus metal, salt plus hydrogen gas. For example, zinc displaces hydrogen from the base sodium hydroxide and produces hydrogen gas. 2NaOH plus Zn, Na2ZnO2 plus H2. Na2ZnO2 is sodium zincate. Okay, but all metals do not react with bases. So let us have a look here on acid, which type of acid you will react with which type of metal and what will be the product. So whenever magnesium react with sulfuric acid, you will get magnesium sulfate with hydrogen gas. When magnesium react with hydrochloric acid, you will get magnesium chloride with the release of hydrogen gas, MgCl2. Here MgSO4. When zinc react with sulfuric acid, you will get zinc sulfate, ZnSO4. When zinc react with hydrochloric acid, you will get ZnCl2, zinc chloride. When iron react with sulfuric acid, you will get iron sulfate, FeSO4. And when magnesium react with hydrochloric acid, you will get magnesium chloride with the release of hydrogen gas. So, reaction of metal with oxygen, you can see once more. Metal react with oxygen to form metallic oxide, which are basic oxide because they react with water to form bases. Magnesium burns in air, already we have seen, and it reacts with water to form magnesium hydroxide. 2Mg plus O2, 2MgO, and MgO plus H2O, MgOH whole 2, that is magnesium hydroxide. Non-metals react with oxygen to form non-metallic oxide. These oxides are acidic oxide because they react with water to form acid. Sulfur burns in air to form sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide reacts with air to form sulfurous acid. For example, S plus O2, SO2, SO2 plus H2O, H2SO3, that is sulfurous acid. Now, you can see how non-metal oxides react with water. For example, carbon dioxide reacts with water to form carbonic acid, H2CO3. Sulfur dioxide reacts with water to form sulfurous acid, that is H2SO3. Chemical properties of nonmetals tend to gain electron. Since metals tend to lose electron, nonmetals tend to gain electron. Metals and nonmetals like to form compound with each other also. These compounds are called ionic compounds. When two or more nonmetal bond with each other, they form a covalent compound. We'll study about them in our classes. Chemical properties of nonmetal. Most nonmetals easily form compounds. The exception is group 18. This has to do with valence electron. Atoms in group 18 do not gain, lose or share electron because they are with filled orbitals. They are not having incomplete orbitals, so they do not share any electron, do not lose or do not gain. These are helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon, group 18 element. The rest of the nonmetals have atoms that can gain or share electron. The atom of these nonmetals can react with other atom, leading to the formation of compounds. Halogen react with hydrogen gas to produce hydrogen or to produce halides. For example, Cl2 plus H2, that is 2HCl, hydrochloric acid will be formed. Chlorine and hydrogen explode in bright sunlight but react slowly in dark. Bromine and hydrogen react slowly on heating with a platinum catalyst. Iodine combines partially and very slowly with hydrogen even on heating. So you can see how halides are formed. Halogens, that is nonmetal, they form hydrogen halide with hydrogen gas. H2 plus F2, 2HF, hydrogen fluoride react explosively even in cool dark condition. H2 plus Cl2 2HCl react explosively in sunlight, hydrochloric acid. H2 plus Br2 hydrogen bromide reacts slowly on heating. This is hydrogen chloride. H2 plus I2 2HI hydrogen iodide forms an equilibrium mixture on heating. So in this way, you can see here also that when hydrogen react with oxygen, you will get water. So of course, here water is formed. With nitrogen, ammonia is formed. Hydrogen plus nitrogen, that is ammonia. H2 plus 3N2 at 500 degrees Celsius will give you ammonia, 2NH3. Sulfur, hydrogen sulfide is formed, H2 plus S2. H2S at 440 degrees Celsius. In this way, you are seeing that how hydrogen reacts with, how nonmetal reacts with metal, or you can see here that basically how hydrogen react with oxygen, how hydrogen react with nitrogen, how hydrogen react with sulfur. That means how hydrogen is reacting with other nonmetal. There is no metal here. How hydrogen reacts with nonmetals, that we can see, because generally nonmetals do not react with water, do not react with acid like metals. So oxygen and a nonmetal react to produce nonmetal oxide. Nonmetal plus oxygen, nonmetal oxide. For example, white phosphorus produces tetraphosphorus decaoxide. P4 plus 5O2, P4O10. Sulfur react with oxygen to produce sulfur dioxide gas, S plus O2, SO2. What is amphoteric oxide? Amphoteric oxides are such oxides that can react with acid as well as with bases. For example, aluminum oxide, zinc oxide. ZnO plus 2HCl gives ZnCl2 plus H2O zinc chloride. ZnO plus 2 NaOH, Na2ZnO2 plus H2O sodium zincate. ZnO reacts with acid as well as with base. So you can see hydrogen. This is hydrochloric acid and this is sodium hydroxide. So zinc oxide is amphoteric because it can react with acid also, it can react with bases also. Now let us summarize chemical properties of metals and nonmetals. Metals have a tendency to donate electron, nonmetals have a tendency to receive electrons. Displace hydrogen from dilute acid. Metals like zinc plus 2HCl gives ZnCl2 zinc chloride plus hydrogen. Whereas they do not displace, nonmetals do not displace hydrogen gas from dilute acid. Metal react with oxygen to produce basic oxide, 4Na plus O2, 2Na2, sodium oxide, whereas non-metal react with oxygen to produce acidic oxide, C plus O2, CO2. React with hydrogen to produce hydride, Ca plus H2, CH2 calcium hydride, whereas non-metal react with hydrogen to produce covalent compound, C plus 2H2, CH4. Reaction of non-metal with acid, non-metal plus acid, no reaction, sulfur plus hydrochloric acid gives no reaction. So students, today in this video we have discussed whole about chemical properties of metals and non-metals. The most important part is that you must go through all the formula whenever metal react with oxygen or water or acid or base, and whenever and wherever non-metal reacts with hydrogen. And then you must learn it and then learn how to maintain the balance between products and reactant. Thank you everyone.